The stories of this cabin are infamous. That wasn't. The shadow figures, the intimidating energies, the screams.
Is it okay if I Huh!
What?
Look at this. What is that?
How do you explain that?
I can't. That's one of the strangest things I've ever had happen. This was one of those cases where the crime was so personal and so horrendous. What did he do to you?
Hurt me.
It was determined at that point that a block of firewood had been used. She was hit with it repeatedly.
Cheryl, is that you?
Ghost stories have terrified humans for longer than history can document. And even in the most beautiful and peaceful of places, a tale of hauntings could be hiding just beneath the surface. Some are based on legend and folklore, while others come from real tragedy.
You know, we found that the best ghost stories are caused by real history. And tonight we're gonna investigate Cabin 13 here at Babcock State Park. And 26 years ago, a couple named Mike and Cheryl Flippo came here to vacation for a romantic getaway. After that night, Cheryl Flippo was dead, and Mike Flippo was sentenced to life in prison.
This is one of those cases where the crime was so personal and so horrendous that it just leaves that imprint behind. It leaves that imprint on the walls of this cabin.
The stories of this cabin are infamous. The shadow figures, the intimidating energies, the screams. And tonight we're here to see if we can capture proof of paranormal evidence. But what actually happened? Before we can properly investigate the haunting, we have to know the history.
I was in Fayetteville at the time. It was raining real hard. I received a disturbance complaint from Babcock State Park, individual stating he had been attacked by 10 to 12 people in a cabin, him and his wife. At the time I arrived at the scene, he was sitting on the porch at a paid telephone at the main headquarters there at the parking lot when I arrived. He was in white underwear, had a cut on the right side of the underwear. He was, it was raining, he was wet. When I pulled up, he started screaming, "Don't hit me, don't touch me." I told him who I was. I wasn't there to hurt him, I was there to help him. I was trying to get some more facts about what had taken place. He told me 10 or 12 guys came in the cabin and attacked him and his wife. I asked him where his wife was at. He said, "I think she's still at the cabin."
There were talks that, you know, they drove a green Cadillac here, but when Sergeant Bryant made it to scene, there was a red Camaro parked at the top of the hill. And at that point, he started realizing that the story just really wasn't adding up.
When I asked him how he got here, he described the green Cadillac, exactly what it looked like, everything else. But when I got here, the red car was sitting there. It had a T-shirt hanging off of the side view mirror on it. Well, as I approached the cabin, I looked for anything out of place, disorder or anything. I went to the back door, which we passed on the walkway. I went to knock on it. I opened up the screen door. There's a bag of garbage that fell out of the door. So I know no one had been in or out of that door. I then listened. There was no sounds or anything. I came around to the front door. The door was open, the screen door was shut. I announced myself through the screen door, asked for anybody responding. There's no noise, nothing coming out of the cabin. I shined the flashlight through to see if there was any tracks or anything on the floor. The only prints I seen on the floor was bare footprints. I then entered the cabin. The bed was sitting adjacent to the door. I seen a spot of blood where the pillow would have been. I shined the light around the room, didn't see nothing else. Set of steps to the right side of the room, led up to a loft. I went up in the loft. There was another bed there with a pillow missing off of it. I looked around the floor for the pillow. I shined the light over top of the rail down into the main room, and that's when I observed her on the floor between the bed and the wall. It was determined at that point that a block of firewood had been used, and she was hit with it repeatedly. He was coming back down the sidewalk when I went back outside. I escorted him back up to my vehicle. At that time, I called for backup, helped secure the scene, and called for an ambulance.
And then they found out that not even 30 days prior, Mr. Flippo had taken out a $100,000 life insurance policy on his wife with himself as the beneficiary. After that was discovered, police knew they'd found their man. This is very secluded, so you can see why, if his plan was to bring her out here to murder her, that he chose this cabin.
Yeah, it's the very last cabin on this road here. It's as far as you can go.
We have been researching this ghost story, looking at this cabin for a possible investigation for a long time. And we're finally gonna set foot inside here, and we're finally going to be staying inside this cabin to see if the stories are true. If that one dark moment in this cabin's history left a stain on it that still replays itself to this day.
I'm excited to get in here and check it out.
Yes.
Is it open?
It is. Wow. As soon as you walk in the door, do you feel that?
Oh, absolutely.
It is heavy in here.
It's like an overwhelming sense of just, I don't want to say dread, but like pressure. It kind of feels like the walls are closing in on you a little bit.
And it has been 26 years or so since this actually happened. And while we are not here on the actual date that this all took place, because that tragic night was the 29th of April into the 30th of April. And we are here on the 25th into the 26th of April. But that was the last Monday and Tuesday night in the month of April in 1996 that this occurred, and we are here on the last Monday and Tuesday night in the month of April in 2022. So because of the changing of the days in the calendar, we're here on the exact night of the week 26 years later from the time this took place. Maybe that will help stir up some energy. And maybe we can capture on camera what people have experienced in cabin 13 here. We're gonna leave the cabin for a few minutes. And while we're gone, you can use this ball on the bed. It's putting out a lot of static energy. People believe that you can use that energy to speak to us or move things. So if you touch this ball, you might be able to talk to us. But whether cabin 13 is still haunted by the history of this murder remains to be seen. That's why we're here. But the fact that it's cabin number 13 isn't doing it any favors either. In legend and folklore, people say that this cabin is notoriously haunted and cursed. People come from miles around just to get a glimpse at this cabin. And this is where we're gonna be staying tonight.
And along with those legends are reports of a shadow figure standing and looming over top of the bed from up in the loft, just giving the most vile feelings to these people down there. And even reports of a woman screaming from within the cabin. And it just, you know, again, like you said, that cabin number 13 and everything else just adds around to this really cool haunting here.
But I know I'm excited to stay the night here inside cabin 13 at Babcock State Park to see if these claims of paranormal activity are true and to see if we can have our own experiences and capture our own evidence from the stories and legends that have made this cabin famous. So you ready to go inside and start this investigation, Dave?
Yeah, I'm excited to get this one started, ready to get in there, get the cameras rolling, and see if we can make contact with, you know, the looming shadow, the screeching woman, or maybe possibly even Cheryl, and give her a chance to communicate tonight. So
let's do it. I'm ready for this. We're getting ready to leave cabin 13 here. Part of the story is that when Mike and Cheryl came here to this cabin on Cheryl's last night alive, when her life was brutally and viciously taken from her, the night began on their romantic getaway with them playing cards and eating ice cream to try and tap into that residual energy and try and put ourselves as close as we possibly can to that night in order to draw out paranormal activity. We brought just that, playing cards, and we're going to put some ice cream in here in hopes that whoever is here will come out and speak to us. And if Cheryl is here, Cheryl, we're so sorry that that happened to you, and we want you to tell your story. My name is Ryan, and that's Dave, and we only mean you absolute kindness and respect. There's lots of different lights here inside the cabin that we can use to speak to you. If you touch these lights, they'll go off. So, whoa. Hello?
Cheryl, is that you?
Whoa. Thank you.
Cheryl, I feel like I've been talking to you all evening. Have you been hearing me? If you have, can you light that up again?
Whoa. Yeah, she
Okay.
has been, man.
Well, thank you, Cheryl. That's so cool.
Yeah.
See, we want you to have a chance to speak your own story. We're going to leave this stuff set up for you. We want you to communicate with us with this stuff. And I've been in and out here all day talking like a crazy person to myself, thinking you were listening to me. So hopefully you were, and hopefully you listened to us and communicate by using this stuff.
And you're more than welcome to take these cards, I'll put them here on the end. If you want to knock these cards on the floor that I just put on the edge of the table, or move the spoons in the bowls, you're more than welcome to touch that as well as this light, like we said.
Yep.
So if there's anything dark here that came about from the vicious If there's anything dark here that came into this cabin from the vicious murder of Cheryl Flippo, we'd like to speak to you as well. People say they see a dark figure standing over the bed when they're sleeping in here. And if that's a malicious entity that was brought here by that heinous act, we'd love to speak to you as well, and for you to show us that you're here. For right now, we're going to get out of here. Leave this place to you. We hope you speak to us.
We've conducted these abandonment sessions for the last 10 years to see if anything unexplained happens when a building is completely empty. The most peculiar thing about this session is how quiet it actually was. Multiple noises were captured. The only sound that seemed unusual beyond the standard creaks and pops of an old cabin was captured on the camera pointing down the stairs from the loft. Oddly enough, it almost sounds like someone or something is touching the camera. The EDI Plus meter did detect changes in temperature and air pressure, but in the absence of other phenomena, temperature fluctuations don't really amount to much. What really stood out to us is that the absence of paranormal activity isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Cheryl, is that you?
Especially when the Mel meter's REM function was alarming on command before we left. And now it sits quiet. Hopefully, when we return, the famous supernatural activity of Cabin 13 will show itself to us.
All right. So, we're going to be doing an Estes method spirit box session here. I'm going to be laying on the bed here at Cabin 13, and I'm going to see what comes through. I do need to take my shoes off here so I don't track dirt onto the bed, but I'm quite interested to see what comes through here. I'm going to be listening. Dave's going to be asking the questions. We have REM pod, Mel meter, EDI plus meter is going to be set up here on the bed beside me because it's not proximity. I have it turned on right now to the EMF setting, so the numbers displayed on screen are the milligauss of electromagnetic frequency that it is sensing. So we're going to try and do this. I got my blindfold here, my trusty blindfold. I should have waited to put the blindfold on until I got the headphones on my ears. Here we go. Got them. Okay. So. Oh. And we are rolling.
All right, Cheryl. If you are here with us, I'm going to be asking you a series of questions. Ryan over here, he has the headphones on. If you respond, you can respond to us through the radio that he's listening to. It's pretty cool. So, can you please tell him your name through that radio? What is the name of the man who hurt you?
Man's voice sounded like he was in pain. I couldn't make it out though, but it sounded very distressed.
You can communicate to us through the box that Ryan is using. He has on headphones and he can hear you.
On the floor?
That's creepy. That's where she was found. What about the floor? Did somebody pass away on the floor?
Who's that?
If you're referring to us, my name is Dave, and this is Ryan right over here. What is your name? Somebody did something awful to somebody else here in this building, in this cabin.
I'm here.
Okay, who's here? Is there a stronger male presence here who threatens all the other spirits here?
Oh. Woman's voice. First woman's voice I've heard. Either Messy or Jessie.
Okay, could you repeat yourself to Ryan? We're not sure what you said there.
Felt like something just poked me in the foot.
That is so weird. Just as that happened, I heard an audible laugh in here. Covered in cold chills. Who are you? What is your name? Tell Ryan what your name is. Did somebody take your life here?
No. It was like a long, elongated, like, no.
What? I heard that. What happened to you here?
I want to try something. Ooh. Man, very creepy man's voice.
This is one of those responses that I wish I would have understood in the moment. Just as I laid down on the floor between the wall and the bed, a man's voice sounds like he says, Cheryl.
Ooh. Ooh. Man, very creepy man's voice.
Could he be referring to Cheryl Flippo, whose murder sparked the famous ghost story of Cabin 13?
I've moved up here to give you a little space. On the table, there is a glowing red light. Can you try and touch that and make it go off?
It's true. Woman's voice.
Is it true that you're here? Or is it true that he hurt you in here? What did he do to you?
Hurt me. Woman's voice.
What did he do to you?
Hurt me. Hurt me.
Cheryl, was it Mike who hurt you? Or if Cheryl is not here with us right now, and there's another spirit here, can you please tell us your name? Can you come out and tell us your name, please? Every time that I stand right here, I get covered in cold chills. Look at this.
He's here.
Who is here? Me? Is there a male presence here? who makes people do bad things.
Okay. I'm back up.
You good?
Who are you looking at? Man's voice. Who? What the f? Oh. Dude, something just was right in front of my face there. That scared the out of me. Oh my god. Hold on a second, that made my heart stop.
What do you mean somebody was right in front of you?
I don't know, it was weird because I'm blindfolded and I can't see anything, but like, with the blindfold on, from left to right, something passed right here and it got like super heavy and dark and it scared the out of me. I know that's so hard to, like, that's not a good explanation of it, but like.
It's like something invaded your space.
Yeah, but it was dark. That's one of the most bizarre things I've experienced in a while. That caught me off guard.
What seems to be happening, I think Cheryl is here, but I think that these reports of a strong male figure, an overpowering male figure, I think there might be something to it.
I almost don't want to stop doing that, but the place I was getting the responses was when I laid on the floor.
Yeah.
There's only so long you can lay down there before you, and even doing that, I felt uncomfortable. But after I stood up was when something went, it felt like something came at me.
I think Cheryl is here from time to time, but I do think there's an overpowering male presence in here.
Yeah. Let's go for Ghost Tube. Set it down here. That's weird. What the hell? It's saying there's a very strong magnetic frequency right here on the bed, but there shouldn't be because, well, we'll leave it sit there and see what happens. Run up there and grab that camera. What's gonna happen if I run up here and grab this camera?
Lost.
Lost. Cheryl? Cheryl, are you here? Cheryl, did he hurt you? Also, is there something on this bed that
Headphones.
is flashing blue? I saw a bright blue light here.
Okay, I'm coming down.
No, it was the EDI.
Was it?
Yeah, there it goes.
Must have been the temperature drop.
It didn't do that the entire time that we were doing the Estes, so.
Well, yep, there it goes again. Drop in temperature, change in air pressure.
Are you sitting there on the edge of the bed?
Ooh, I got chills now.
Yeah. I want to try something.
Okay.
I don't know why. And I don't want to do this just because you were doing it. That was me.
You want to lay down there?
I'm getting this overwhelming sense to lie down here. Is it okay if I lie? Oh!
What?
Look at this. What is that?
I don't see anything.
Something wet. Look at that.
Ew, what the hell?
I don't know.
Where'd it come from?
I don't know. I put my hand over the bed. And it was there.
Hold on, let me see.
Fight.
Fight.
The roof isn't leaking, is it? You wouldn't think, because it's right over the bed. There's no wet spot.
No wet spot. I literally just went like this.
I definitely documented that on camera. There's
Yeah.
moisture on you.
Yeah, it's about to drip off.
And is it raining outside?
I don't think so.
Doesn't sound like it.
Here, let me go look.
No, it's dry as a bone out here.
Dry as a bone.
No water at all.
I can't.
What in the world?
Follow you.
I'm so confused. No water. Okay, that
How do you
is-
explain that?
I can't. That's one of the strangest things I've ever had happen. I'm gonna go check the bed again, but
Yeah, because if it was a condensation water drip, it would have been dripping onto the comforter.
yeah.
You tell me that only one drop of water comes off of that, and that drop of water hits you in the hand as you are putting your hand over the bed
On camera.
on camera.
What if that was like, and I know this is way, way out there, but what if that was like some sort of like portal opening? Because the EDI temp was going up, temp going down, barometric pressure was going nuts. There was random water, and now it's stopped. And that was right after we felt that dark energy. And you felt somebody get in your face.
Mm-hmm.
I feel lazy just lying here, but I don't know where that light went. Here. My phone, which is on airplane.
Peaceful.
What?
Wow.
Right as it said peaceful.
Right as it said peaceful, it started to go off. That was cool.
That was cool. Let me just try something because I had my phone out,
Okay.
but it's in airplane mode.
Yeah.
Like, look, you can see it's in airplane mode. Nothing.
No. It's not like we stomped.
Hold on here.
Shoulda.
That was crazy.
Can't really see that well, even with that light. That's why I wanted that flashlight.
Or yeah, that's the whole reason I got that. I don't want to look for that flashlight.
So, we're gonna check the ceiling here to see if, for sure, there's any sort of water drips or anything like that. So, we got this flashlight right here, and we are going to try and see if there are any spots that we can see that would be considered wet spots.
Right about here.
That's where you had your hand.
Yeah, right around in here. So straight up. would be about the second beam down.
The only thing I see up there, cobwebs.
There's nothing up there, you guys. Can you see? It's dry. There's the cobwebs Ryan was just talking about.
I don't know. It's very strange.
It is very strange.
People believe that this cabin is haunted. Is that true? You can use this box right here in my hand that's sitting in front of me to speak to us. And your voice will come through this. This thing is just a way to make your voice more clear. Who's the man's voice that we hear coming through? If you don't want to come through this box with your voice, you can touch one of the lights that's around here. They're just ways for you to let us know that you're here. Hate?
We'll have to double check that one. Is there a dark energy here on this property that makes people do bad things?
Who's over there in the kitchen?
That was weird.
Who's the man that people see standing over the bed when they stay here in cabin 13? Who is that? There it was again. Yeah. Were you hearing that when I was running the Estes method?
No.
Who's in the kitchen? Well, no luck through that.
No.
There it was again. Yeah. Who's moving around in the kitchen back there? Can you move something for us? Push something over?
I wonder if that's the faucet in there.
Could be. That wasn't. What was that?
Cutting night shot. What was that?
Was that panel box open?
No, because I opened it and closed it earlier. I wonder if that's the faucet in there.
Could be.
I wonder if that's the faucet in there.
Could be. That wasn't.
I mean, that's how I had it right there. But it was like that when I went to it, so it's not like that happens.
Yeah. We'll find out, I guess. That's kind of weird.
It is. Kind of give the wall a couple of pushes there.
Okay, so it's latched.
It's very hair trigger, isn't it?
It is very hair triggered, so that may have been what the sound was, but then again, it may not have been. I don't know.
Here, walk this in there, and then I'll make it come open and see if it sounds similar.
Turning on night shot. Okay. Yeah, that sounds similar.
Okay, now check this just in case.
No.
Okay.
It was definitely that first one. It was definitely that panel box popping open.
Okay.
Who is the figure that people see standing over this bed? My name is Ryan, that's Dave. Can you tell us your name so we know who we're speaking to?
Whoa.
Could you please repeat that? Let's walk up on the upper. We haven't done anything on the upper decker yet.
We have not.
It's been 26 years since that night that people believe caused this cabin to have many ghost stories. Is there anyone still here from that night or an energy that was created? Who came through and spoke through this box? I haven't heard any voices come through since. Who was that? Can you say your name again? So Dave's got the SLS camera here, and it uses light sensors to map shapes of humans. If anything shows up on the screen that he is looking at there on the tablet that maps as a human figure with the stick figure mapping, it could possibly be an anomaly, and you can see the lasers, the lights that are projecting out the front of the camera that are what actually causes it to map things. While we do that, I'm gonna roll on the Vox, Ghost Tube Vox.
Okay, Cheryl, if you're here, can you stand in front of me in the doorway here between the bathroom and the kitchen? I'd like to try and take your picture.
What happened in this cabin 26 years ago? Can you tell us?
Whoa. There's something by our equipment.
Who is that over there?
Cheryl, is that you?
Is it still there?
Gone. Oh, that gave me cold chills, man. Yeah. We may not have said this, but you know, we apologize for what happened to you. It's not right. It wasn't fair. And we don't mean any disrespect coming in here trying to talk to you. We just, again, we just wanted you to have your turn.
For 26 years, people have told stories of the mark left on this cabin from that horrific night. We came here to find out if the stories were true, and left with some incredible experiences.
Well, if you made it all the way to the end of the video here, thank you for watching all the way through. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. That way, you know every time we upload something here on the channel. We have lots of really cool new content headed your way for the rest of the year, so make sure you are subscribed because you don't want to miss any of it. Lots of huge surprises coming up, and make sure that you go back and watch our previous episode because you don't want to miss that one either. So we'll see you in the next one. Thank you again for watching. We appreciate it.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and leave us a comment down below. And if you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and set notifications to all so you never miss a video. We want to thank the people whose names are scrolling on screen right now for supporting us through Patreon and the YouTube channel membership. If you'd like to see your name here, along with a heap of other perks, follow the links in the description. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.